Hey, welcome back. It's me again, Elise, and now what we're going to do, I am going to show you how I make a homemade pie crust. Very simple, the way I was taught back in the South, with family, and this is a way to make a crispy, buttery pie crust. So we're going to dive right into the recipe and get it going. The first thing you're going to get for your ingredients will be 2.5 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt. I like to use kosher, but you can use regular salt if you want to. 1 stick of butter. Make sure your butter is cold. Also, a 1/2 cup of butter flavoring shortening. I really hope that you all can see this. My kitchen is kind of bright. The light be reflecting, so that's why I'm going slowly through this one to explain. I didn't have anybody to take for me because it's a day where everybody is school, work, and things like that. So let's start. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to add 2.5 cups of flour into a bowl alongside with the 2 tablespoons of sugar. I don't need to measure. I know 1 teaspoon of salt is. Usually what I would do, I would grate this into there, but I don't have my grater today, so I'll just go with the flow. So we're gonna whisk this all together. Yes, that favorite utensil of mine is a whisk. Whisk that all together. Make sure it's all incorporated up in there. I love to bake. One of the first things that me and my mom did together was bake, and I really, really loved it. So I continue to flow through my family. So here you go. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut the cold butter, throw it over into the flour. Like I said, I like to grate it in there. Best and fastest way to do it. But since my kids, when kids wash dishes, things come up missing, just like socks in the dryer. So today we're gonna cut this all up in there. Ooh, get it going, get it going. Crumble it all up in there. I love apple pie. It's around the holiday times too. Some people like a sweet tarty pie. I like both, but I love use Granny Smith apples with this pie. So that's what I'm going to make after this is an apple pie with this crust. This recipe right here can make 2 9-inch pie crusts. Yes. So we're going to put that over in there, break it up in there. Take your time. Food is like art. So you can take your time with it. Also, this nice little butter flavored shortening. Make sure you get butter flavored shortening. A 1/2 cup for you. I use Crisco. Put it all up in there. We're gonna crumble it around so it could be like a little crumbly effect once we do that. Also, you're gonna add water into it, at least about a 1/2 cup of ice cold water. Remember, ice cold water. Make a rap out of it. That's how I remember things. Crumble this all up in there till you get those little crumbles. I'm using my hands, but you can stir it. But since it's in my house and it's going in here, this is what I'll do. So what I do, I just crumble it up a little bit. And then I add in the water to make sure that it get all incorporated. Yes. The crazy part about this is that I'm usually cooking and there's never a camera in my face. So, hey, but it's the first time for a lot of things, and I'm willing and ready. So no problem with that. Now my hands are all messed up, but that's okay. Put that down in there. I'm gonna wash these off a little. So I crumbled that all up, washed my hands, got all that off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in a 1/2 cup of ice cold water. And then I'm gonna incorporate, stir that all together. And I'm gonna make my dough like a flattened disc. That's what I'm trying to get it to. Put in a 1/2 cup. You can always use a little bit more if it's too dry. And I'm gonna incorporate that all together. Oh, I can smell the butter already. Isn't that amazing? Incorporate it all together. Making things from scratch, especially apple pie, it is a labor of love, but it is so, so refreshing to come into your house, or people come into your house and smell a great baked dessert. Whether it's apple pie, whether it's red velvet, chocolate, cinnamon, pumpkin, it's always great to smell it, especially around the holidays. It just brings so much into your heart. So there you go. And maybe just put a little bit more. Woo. Voila. We're gonna break it down into like a flattened disc. And I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna wrap it. Let me move some of this stuff out the way so you can see. Got all of that out the way. I like to turn it over on my kitchen counter. I wipe them down and I sanitize them very, very well. And I make this flatten, and then I'll put it, wrap it in some plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. And once it's out of there, then I will separate it into 2 giant balls. So, you see how that buttery crust is holding together? Sit it here. Put it all on top. Ooh, I just smells the butter. It smells so good. Butter has to be one of your favorite ingredients. It just has to be. So we bring that down. So I put it all together with my hands. Gotta use your hands. Gotta know how to use your hands. Such a wonderful. I don't put the flour down and roll until I get ready to, it stiffens up in there, and then I roll it. Then I put the flour down on the counter and I roll it out into the ball. But right now I'm just trying to get that flattening disc. That flattening disc look like that. Incorporate that all up together, as you can see. The little chunks and everything in there is okay. Everything is gonna fall into place. So what we're gonna do now, wipe that off for a bit. Take you some cling wrap, plastic wrap. This stuff is a must in the kitchen. You know what the crazy part about it? I never could tear it off. I can cook, but can't tear off foil and plastic. How crazy is that, huh? See, look at that. The difficulties. Today just been one of those days. It's just, you know, the kitchen is against me, but that's okay. We still gonna get things done. That is a-okay. That's life. It's my life. Wrap it down. A flattened disc. Make sure it's tucked up in there. I'm gonna probably put one more piece over it to make sure it's very comfortable up in there. I kind of move a little bit fast. I think it's still from the career that I had. Being a law enforcement, you gotta be quick on your toes. So that's one of my great qualities in the kitchen. People say I'm fast. Hey, when you've been working in law enforcement for 10 years in the city of Chicago, fast should be your first sentence. Gotta move fast. But yes, flatten that down. Get it tucked all up in there. But even through my speed, things come out great. It's gonna be nice and buttery. My kids love apple pie. I love the crust of the pie. I'm not a really big warm fruit eater, but I eat it for the sake of it, to taste it, to make sure it's good for the people I cook it for. And we're gonna lay that flat disc, and what we're gonna do with this bad boy, we're gonna put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Lay it down flat. Now, so clean all this up, get my apples ready, get everything all together, and once 30 minutes pass, I'll come back, show you how to break that up, throw the pie in the oven. I'll be right back. So I'm right back at you to finish off this wonderful, wonderful homemade pie. I got everything all prepped, so it won't be a long time in front of you all. I use these Granny Smith apples. But what we're gonna do now, we're gonna make our filling. So I use these Granny Smith apples, but you can use whatever apples you decide to do. So since I was kind of skeptical about which end I was gonna go, from the Granny Smith to the Gala, I used both today. So I peeled them all up, chopped them up and put them in a bowl. I like my apple pie a little bit tart. So I take a lemon, just gonna squeeze a little in today. That fresh lemon, oh my goodness, it's just really great. So squeeze a little bit over here. Fresh lemon, however much you decide to do is totally up to you. I like it a little tart, so I'm just gonna go with half of this lemon right here. Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a spatula of your choice and mix all that lemon up in those apples in that mixture. Oh, don't you just love the smell of lemon? Lemon and apples. Okay, so we got all that incorporated in there. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over to the stove. We're gonna cut it on. And where we are now, we're gonna form our filling and baste our apples. So, you're gonna take a cup of butter. That's not a lot, but it's good butter. Just a little butter. Okay, a little bit more butter. And we're gonna let that go off and melt it in the pot. Put it in there. Ooh, gotta have some good butter if you want. If you don't want to use that much butter, it's totally up to you. But I'm gonna use a cup. Add that in there. We're gonna stir that around and let that melt a bit. As I'm doing that, I'm gonna bring you guys closer to me. Closer. There you go. And we're gonna begin to stir up that butter until it's nice and melted. Bring that down a little bit. Yes. As you can see, I'm rocking my daughter to school today. Bring that butter down a little bit. As that butter go down, what we're gonna add a half a cup of brown sugar. Bring it in there, put it down in there, smash it up a little bit. I never ever recorded myself baking. I hope this turns out great. Just a half a cup. We're gonna make sure that's down and melting a little soggy a little bit. Come on. It ain't gonna hurt. I'm not a professional on the camera, but just wanted to show the inside of it. I could catch people at my home every other time, but this week it was just so hard. But we brought that down a little bit. Bring it over here again. Can you see me? Absolutely. Bring that down. So after we did that, incorporate that all up, I'm gonna add 3-4 cups of granulated sugar. Make sure that your butter is also unsalted. I use unsalted butter. Maybe your preference if you want to use salted, but I use unsalted butter. You know what? You can really tell when you're making something good by your apron. Count the spots. That means you're doing good. So we got to mix that up, bring that down, incorporate that all in that mixture. As that incorporated, we're going to add in 1 to 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, but as much of cinnamon as you may like. I really don't, I say 1 to 2 teaspoons. I really don't need a measuring. I pretty much can go by my head, guesstimate, actually know how much sugar I want. Add in that sugar, stir it. We're going to try to make this syrupy type of filling for our apples. Break it down. Add in 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Not a lot of allspice. Put that in there. Okay. This is optional, vanilla extract. You can add it if you want to, but it's optional. I add it, so I'm just going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, as we get that all mixed up, and we get this mixture, what we want to do now, we want to thicken up the mixture with our cornstarch. So I say 1 to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 preferably, of cornstarch to thicken up that mixture for that juicy apple pie. Put that in there. If your mixture doesn't thicken to the way you like it, you are more than welcome to add more cornstarch. It's totally your pie and your recipe. I'm just showing you the way that I do it and how it comes out absolutely great for me. So, stir it all in there. Get those juices flowing and incorporated. And after we get it all stirred up, come on. Sometimes cornstarch can be stubborn like the kids. Get it all up in there. I want you to see how wonderful and brown and caramelized this is. That mixture, ooh. There you go. So after we do all that, we're gonna bring our apples and pour them over into the mixture. Ooh, look at that. And then we're just gonna make sure that we incorporate all this sweet sauce into the apples. What we want to do, we want the apples to lose a lot of the water from it, because we don't want our pie all juicy and watered out. So we want the apples to release that water into the pot. So just make sure that's all incorporated up in here, because I promise you, you do not want no leaky pie, baby. No. Get that all up incorporated in there. Ooh, look at that. One more time. Show you all how wonderful. It smells so, so good. Oh my God, it smells so good. Yes, bring this back right over here. Please So sorry, no cameraman, but I can do this. So we're gonna let all that, let those apples air out up in there. Put it down on low. Right now, let it release all that water into the pan. Like I said, make sure your sauce is thickening. If it's not thickening, you can always add more cornstarch. So we're gonna let those buddies sit out over there for a second. We're gonna move this around, and what we're gonna do, it's been long enough for our dough. We're gonna bring out our dough and start our pie crust. How wonderful is that? There we go, add all that over there. Get a clean space. Let you guys see me. Ooh, one day I'm gonna get this down to perfection, this camera stuff. But for today, we working with what we got, and we gonna make it work like I always say. You gotta do what you gotta do. Since you gotta do what you gotta do. So bring it all out. Bring that out. Got our pie dish, 9-inch round. What I like to do, I like to grease my pie dish with the butter flavored shortening. So I grease it all around. Grease that bad boy up. Like my mom used to say, baby, you gotta slap it up in there. So we're gonna slap it up in here. Bring it all around. And whoop, there you go. Now, wipe my hands off a bit and get that butter off. Like I said, I'm a bit, like all up in here is just bothering me today, but whew, it's okay. Sit that to the side. Then we're gonna get us a little bit of flour. I'm back. We're gonna dust this flour all over this wonderful counter. Just get it all floured up in there. Now, go back up here and check on my apples. Ooh. You can just smell it. See, that hurt it when I did that. There you go. Get that break out. Our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pie crust. I got flour everywhere. When you baking, flour gonna be everywhere, but that's okay. Thin disc. Take it, and what I do is that I break it off into 2 balls. Divide it into 2 balls. Don't want to sit that on my flour, but I divide it into 2 balls. There you go. Ooh. Sit one of them to the side. Move it around in the flour. Squish it down. Let me bring it back so you see. Squish it down. And we're gonna start rolling, baby. Rolling, rolling, rolling on the river. Do, do, do. You gotta add humor when you don't feel well. I remember I used to work, I was like, to my partner, let's say jokes to add humor to some of this tragedy that we're about to see. So we bring it on out. Usually I don't use the roller. Gotta be careful on the rollers. I usually use my hands. But for the sake of argument, I'm just gonna go and use that roller. Some people like really thick pie crust. That's okay. Just double the recipe. That's all you gotta do. Remember, it's your pie, baby. So you're gonna bring this all out. Hope you can see me. Bring that all out on the sides of the pie. Up, up, up and away. I like to have fun in the kitchen, you know. Get that in there, the hands. Put it all together. Some people like to get cute on their pies. Babe, listen. I love pretty food. But if I try to perfect this crust, y'all will be watching me all day. So we'll make it very gentle and beautiful for the time being. And we got that up in there. Make sure it's all on the sides. Can you see that? That sun. Let me go this way. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That sun will get you every time, but it's a beautiful thing to see the sun. You smash that up in there. Ooh, this is gonna be one good pie. And then meanwhile, while you're doing this, you preheat the oven to 350 because you want to bake this for about 60 to 65 minutes. So you can get that beautiful, beautiful brown crusted apple pie. And let those butters do the work in there with the heat and let it activate. Oh my God, such a good pie. Okay, so we got that all down in the pan. Get it all up on the sides. Make it, like I said, if I was making this pretty, we'll be doing this forever. because I love beautiful, beautiful food. Really do. But for the sake of time, putting it all together, no breaks. Now, we got our lovely, lovely mixture over here, the apple pie mixture. Let me get something that'll help my hands so they won't burn off. Safety first. We got all that. Oh my God, it just smells so delicious. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go get me a slotted spoon. I'm gonna use a slotted spoon to slot this over into this apple pie. Okay. Right on the money. Ooh, look at that, it smells. I don't know how many times it smells so good. So, right in there. Ooh, this is gonna be a good pie. I promise you, I'm telling you. One of the best recipes I could have ever learned from my mom is to bake an apple pie, from cherry to apple to all type of pie. Just not none of those movie pies. So I use the slotted spoon and I slide it all over here. And as much apples as you want. Sometimes you may have extra. It's okay. Let your kids deal with that. They're very good, cinnamon apples. Okay, we put that on there. So I usually just turn this over and just pour a little bit of the syrup right in there. Ooh, ooey gooey apple pie. Ooey gooey apple pie. So we got that down packed. Put the extras over there. Pat it down, so you want to have a flat surface at the top. Now we got that. We're gonna let this baby chill out over here for a second while we roll up the top part for our pie. Now a lot of people, they like to make the little crinkles on the end of their pie and all of that. I do too. But today, we're just gonna give it 4 slits on top. Add our little egg whites, which is totally optional. Totally up to you if you want to add the egg whites. Totally, totally up to you. Put a little butter. It was getting kind of dry right there. Got to slap that up. Move it a little closer. Be gentle with the rolling. Not too much. You don't want to beat it up. You want to make it look really nice. I hope you guys can hear me. Like I said, it's like something. I don't understand what it is, but it's okay. Flatten them edges out. Ooh, flatten them edges out. There you go, bring it, bring it. Running out a little flour. Like I said, I smash it down with my hands and make it work. But I'm trying to show you my rolling techniques. Out, out, bring it back to you, bring it back to you, bring it back to you. Out, make it evenly around. Out, out. I always have my baby girl help me with this pie, but today it's all about me. So, bring this pie back over to us. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to easily lift this. Lift, 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 lift. And we're going to place it delicately over the top of the pie. So, you crisp out the ends of the pie. You know how you want it, over the edges, make the little pleats and things of that nature. I mean, I just like the good apple pie, baby. It looks so lovely. You bind it in there. Concentration method right here. Gotta make sure it's all lovey-dovey and beautiful. Right there. Don't you just like having fun in the kitchen? Ooh. It's gonna be so cute. So, that pie. Ooh. So now, what I like to do, a lot of people, like I said, do their edges and things like that. I like to take it and let me get something, a knife, and make 4 slits. The reason being, you want to let the pie air out. You want to let the air seep out that pie for them apples. You don't want the pie to be busting open and stuff. So you want to let the air seep out. Make the 4 slits across at the top so you can give Give it time to breathe. Get that pie some breathe while it's in the oven. Put the 4 at the top. Now what I do, totally optional, but I like that glazed looking top. So I take egg whites and I brush it across. Brush it across the top. So I get that glazy, brown, crunchy look. It's totally optional. I just do it. Okay. Now we're gonna take some sugar, as my grandma say, sugar, and just sprinkle it right across the apple pie. Ooh, voila. Now I'm gonna make this a little prettier because I can't stand no ugly food. I love presentation. Oops. It's okay, things happen. All type of stuff fly in the kitchen, from flour to eggs to probably sweat. Oh, make it run, sweetheart. And there you go. Let's pop this bad boy in the oven. Like I said, for like 60, 65 minutes. I'm gonna cut this down for a second. Still a lot of sun in here. Open it up. Put it in there. Like I said, 60 minutes to 65 minutes on 350. Come on, 60. And there you have it. We're gonna come back once this pretty baby is all done and baked up and crusty and browny for you. And we're gonna show you what it looks like in 60 minutes. Thank you so much. And it was a pleasure making one of my famous recipes for you. 30 minutes later, and I got a camera person. So the pie is done. Ooh. Sit up here. Man, that crust, I love crust. So yes, you're gonna let the pie sit and rest for like 15 minutes before you cut down into it. But please make sure you have some lovely vanilla ice cream. Thank you all so much. And like I say, from my heart to your plate. I'm coming back with a PS for the apple pie. I'm gonna cut it. I'm going to cut it. Ooh, look at that flaky crust. Ooh, you can hear it. All buttery. It smells good. Ooh. One big apple pie. Oh my goodness, look at that. Right in there, look at that. Look at all that. You got it? And that is my PS for you.